would love to have been here.
Oh, Johnny, I'm now putting myself in the situation as you walk into the door.
I want to ask you. I want to ask you if you've ever been to a locksmith.
I think I did once, but I think I did. I can't guarantee it.
Well, I probably have too, because it wasn't, years
Not
ago,
something
you
I
had to
thought
go to
about.
a locksmith for a key. But if you really think back in your lifetime, how many times have you had to have a key made? Not many.
No.
Okay, so this goes back to when Jimmy, okay, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So,
The stupidest thing I've ever heard. You brought that
well,
up again. Oh,
well, that's what this locksmith was. It was just like that. It just caught me off guard. Oh, locksmith. So I call the guy up, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm located on Corey Road in Auburn, number 17." Oh, okay. So I get in the truck and I take off to go to find the locksmith, and I'm looking for a sign out front. Harry's Locksmith, or get your keys done here, or if you ever get locked out, anything related to a key. Nothing. So I'm driving up and down the street looking for the locksmith. So I call him back and I go, so yeah, I'm on your street, but I don't see where you are. And he goes, oh wow, no, I'm located in the back. There's no sign out front. Just pull up to number 17 and just come down the back walkway and come in the back door. Okay. So I parked the car and I'm walking down and I'm walking down the walkway and I knock on the door, and it's just a regular storm door with a door inside of it. And he opens up and he goes, "Hey, how you doing?" Good. How you doing? Yeah, come right in. Oh, cool. Yeah. So I went into this guy's basement. Okay.
it's a
And as soon as
hobby. He does it for a hobby.
as soon as I got in there, Tom, there were so many keys. I mean, there was furniture looked like keys. Everything was keys. There were keys. The whole room was keys. Thousands of keys. And so,
The funniest thing.
and he's got that little visor with the magnifying glass on, over his head. And, and so he goes, "Yeah, come right in here. What do we got here? What do we got here?" This is locksmith talk. So what do we got here? And so, so I hand him this little wheelchair key, and you gotta love it when somebody does this. Oh. I mean, are there any other tones that that could possibly come out? You give him the key. You're in this place. There's nothing but keys, and you hand him the key, and he goes, "Whoa."
Key furniture.
I'm telling you, there were key flags. Yeah, there were key flags, key lights, everything was key.
He's probably a collector of, key types and that. You know, he's like a collector, and all of a sudden, yeah, I need a wheelchair key.
Well, I'm telling you. Whoa.
Just a freak. Did anything ever follow that?
Well, the thing is, I couldn't say, should I go somewhere else? I mean, I'm in key heaven. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh God!
So anyway, I'm just going with the flow at this point. So he goes over to this display rack that did a gazillion keys, and so he takes his hand.
Tree.
Right. So he takes his hand and he goes, "Oh, let's see what we got here." And he pulls the key off the nail and he tips his head for the magnifying glass. Yeah, no, this isn't it. And so he puts it back up there. And you know, you could cook breakfast from this point to this point. But anyway, so this is when I started having questions for the key guy, because I couldn't. All I wanted was this key to be copied. So, you know, I had to start with the obvious, like everybody else. So, how long you been doing this?
Like the obvious.
Well, no, the thing is you always ask those kinds of questions, making the person think that you're actually interested in the answer. Nah. I don't
You
care
think that he'll do a better job if you got a little about him, right? Yeah. But then.
So he goes, well, I've been doing this about 35 years. So I was just curious, when you first saw my key and you went, whoa. I was just wondering how many more years you have to stay in business before you don't make that noise when you look at a key. I asked him that question.
I'm telling you, Johnny, you can't write this stuff. It's so hilarious.
So he goes, well, no, there's just some keys that, you know, I react to different. And, you know, I don't normally see these keys. And so I said, well, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I would think that probably 90% of your business is a door key, right? And he goes, well, yes. As you can see over here on this wall, I've got all kinds of keys that all different kinds of locks. I mean, these keys over here unlock locks from 35, 40 years ago, and probably even longer. It's
oh, that's great. I can see it.
Now, are you ready for this? He goes, so he goes, yeah, as a matter of fact, if you come over here, you can see I've got pictures up here. And this is my first day in business with the keys. Oh, by the way, I only do this part-time. and I said, well, did you ever do it full time? And he goes, oh yeah. But as you can see, you know, I don't get around, you know, like I used to. And so I had to say it. Yeah, I've noticed. I don't even know this guy. But I'm telling you, it just kept going over his head. It was perfect. So anyway, he finally finds the key that is going to be made. And he goes over to this key machine. And he twists the knob and tightens this, gets it in position, and then he brings down the magnifying glass and and he turns the cutter on. And so anyway, he turns on the cutting machine, and it, that sound, if you haven't heard it in a long time. But anyway, the key gets cut and he pulls it out. And he goes, well, let's see if they match up.
Down comes
the magnifying glass. I tell you, this is going into 45 minutes. And so he says, yeah, let's, I think that's the cut. That should work. Oh, cool. I says, I don't normally say this, but I have to ask. And he looks at me and he goes,
oh.
Feel free to say what's on your mind. Just like that. I had to. Have you ever locked yourself out?
Did he laugh or react? What did he do?
He did not laugh. He just he looked at me and he said, well, it's funny that you asked.
He wanted to go into a story about he got locked out.
I've never locked myself out of this place, no. But I have been in my car where I've been locked out of my car. And I had to call someone to get me into my car.
I'm saying it can never happen if you're a key guy.
No, he called another locksmith to get him in the car. It's so perfect. So I said, well, that must have been one of your most uncomfortable moments. So he goes, well, yes. Normally I take everything he would answer like professionally. You go, right. Yes. Normally I take my little handbag that I can, pretty much pick a lock and fix a lock with, and I didn't have it with me that day. Huh.
The key guy was negligent and paid for it.
So anyway, Tom, I've never been in a locksmith like this.
It's fantastic.
So anyway, I went to the bank and got a $20 bill to pay for the key. And so I said, well, how much do I owe you? Well, hang on a second. We're going to write the number down for this key. So I have record of it. Let me pull out the library card. And
everything's cataloged.
So he writes down the number of the key, and then he gives the key to me with the other one. and he says, well, let me see here. So he goes over to his desk and he brings out the bill thing, the invoice.
For a key.
So he goes, so what name should I put this under? And I say, well, the thing is am I going to be able to write this off? And so he looks right back at me. He looks right back at me and he goes, well, I don't know if this would be worth writing off. And I said, why? How much is it? And he goes, 35 cents.
Let me get the invoice out. You can't. You can't make a funnier number. Oh my God. Oh, I'm gonna die laughing. So stop it. Oh God. Oh, oh, that's great.
So we get out. So we get outside.
Oh
and
no.
He goes, he says, if you ever have a problem with that key, you can come back here and, I'll make you another one. Oh,